live. Good morning, sunshines. I'm a few minutes early. I thought I'd get on and see what everybody else is up to before we start talking about stocks. Start talking about trading. I figured I'd do a trade 101 this morning. So if you know about trading, you might want to just kind of pop in later. But I'm going to do everything from what a stock is to a corporation and go from there. I have my coffee. I have my energy. I need some more coffee. I need some more warmth. It's a chilly fall morning. Style audit. Good morning. It's Friday. I gotta sing my song. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. We're all in our places with sunshiny faces. And this is the way to start a new day. Yep, I'm always happy in the morning. I love mornings. Grr, I know all you evening people. And Shatrine, good morning. Good afternoon. I don't know if any of you over the pond trade American stocks, but it's not too different for over there. I know you have your own exchanges. And every once in a while, I trade futures, which are values against, it can be money against money. I don't do that very often anymore, though. It's way too easy. Good morning, Cricket Cinema. I always love your little cricket emoji. I'll give it a few minutes. I'll give it till the 9 o'clock time before I start talking the stock stuff. So that way those that really wanted to jump on this morning don't feel like they're being rushed. But everybody grab your coffee or your drink of choice. Almost 3 p.m. at your time, Ann, so you can make a decision on what kind of beverage you want. An energy drink. And I'm going to apologize ahead of time, you guys. I don't know how to turn, right? That's definitely the orange juice report makes a big deal. But I don't know how to turn the sound off my charts. Never have. So it's a pain. This is my account, Peter. I turned my account information off and my dollar figures off, so you guys don't know my account information, but this is my account. This happens to be a Thinkorswim platform, which is now Charles Schwab because Charles Schwab bought it. And I have a Webull and a Tasty Trade and an E-Trade. I have all of them. Absolutely, I love that movie. From a Poet, Brian, good morning. No, I'm not in Chrome, I'm in OBS. And it's the platform, bringing in the platform that that makes the chimes and the bells and the whistles. And even when I'm on Discord or anything else, I can't get it to turn off. So you just get to listen to it. When it chimes, we hear it. And if you have any, okay, well, go take your pup out to potty. I'll wait. I'll give you a few minutes. I'll wait. So yeah, I've got all the different platforms that I use, but this is my favorite because I have all my indicators just so, and I have a indicator. You see the little yellow arrows on there? That's an indicator my friend made, and it's a squeeze indicator. Um, and it works on any time frame, and I like it. It helps. So when you see that squeeze going on, you know it's going to go up or down very quickly. So I'm gonna quit. Hi, Kirby's mom. That's okay. That's all right. Thanks, Kirby's mom. Well, thank you, Cricket. I would appreciate that. I don't think we have. Well, sometimes I'm cussing. It depends if I lose money, I'll be cussing. I don't get too emotional about it. Good morning, Eric. Lots of love to you too. Kisses, hugs, and squeezes. And I call this Fat Friday because I actually don't normally trade common stock. I normally trade options, and most options expire on Friday. The weekly options do, and so you can get them pretty cheap on Friday mornings. And if they go your way, you can get pretty fat. Good morning, Eaglewood. So we always call it Fat Friday. And Eric, I don't know if you meant that as a real typo, but you did say God morning, Mona. And thank you. I like God mornings. And you can just keep it just that way. That's a great typo. Excuse me. Are there any particular stocks that you would like for me to put up? Good morning, Tony. I particularly I trade a lot of SPY and SPX, but Tesla was kind of fun. Here's that son. Um, was it Power Lies that was doing it the other day? This is a 5-day, 1 hour chart. And the other day, when he was talking about it, went from $4 a share to 13.28 a share, and it basically got pumped and then dumped because now it's back under where it was. It's down to what's it at? 357, 369. So it took a ride. But I was going to show you one that I follow because my son-in-law works for them. It's ranged in the last year. Don't mind me as I kind of pop through. I'm really good at. The low was 59, which was just recently, and it went up to 105. And the year before it went up to 200 and some. So it's had quite the range. I'm going to put it back down to 2-day, 15-minute. Can y'all see that well enough? Or do I need to make it a little bit bigger? Me and Taz, I do small trades, but I mostly trade options. And I'll go ahead and explain. For all corporations, except for non-profit corporations, but all corporations have shares. Now, whether they're public or not is different. So when a corporation is initiated, when you decide who the corporate owners are and who the corporate executives are, you also establish how many shares for the opening. Now, most companies don't go public, but when they do go public, they have what's called an initial public offering, an IPO. And so the morning or the day that they start their IPO, they put out an initial price, and most of them go like 100,000 shares to 1,000,000 shares, something of that nature. And you can look at it through their IPOs, and that establishes their cost or their earnings, their earnings ratio share. And it puts money onto the balance sheet. And that's how, when they do an IPO, that's how they get money. They raise money. Good morning, Power Lies. Did you see San? Well, you know what? You can do that. I have watched, I won't get too far off into the weeds because I'm doing Stocks 101, but I have watched people do penny stocks into the millions of dollars in minutes. So I have seen that. It's rare, and it's usually somebody that has inside knowledge, but seen it happen. In fact, I have a friend in jail for that. I won't give out a name. He's in federal prison for it. So anyways, that's how they raise funds for the business, is they establish the amount of shares, they have an IPO, an initial public offering, and they sell the shares. Now the share price normally is like $10 to $100, just depending on what the value is originally. If they have 1,000,000 shares, once they have all of those shares sold from the IPO, then the company itself doesn't get money. Those shares get traded on the exchange, whatever exchange they happen to be on, whether it's NASDAQ, Dow Jones, the OTC, which is the over-the-counter stock. Dream Exchange, who we talk about on here, has an exchange. That's a private exchange. So they have all sorts of different exchanges um, that they can put their stock on, and that's where the money gets paddled back and forth. Is between, you have the buyer and the seller, so it's the buy and sell. So when a company, you have Amazon, Nvidia, Costco, Apple, Walmart, but add NASDAQ, DEC, SCHG, I don't know who that is, it's not Schlumberger, CMG, Chipotle, CRM, yep, I've got all of those. They're in a different watch list. Most of them anyways. AZO, I like all of those. And usually I have Amazon, but Amazon gets crazy. You were in NCL? So right now is considered pre-market, and you can trade pre-market. But as I said, I mostly trade options, and they don't start till opening bell at 9:30. So once that money is going back and forth, now the company can say, hey, we want to raise more money. So they'll issue additional shares to raise more money, and that's called an offering. Medline Canada, I will. Are they on any of the American stock exchanges? What's their ticker? Me and Taz. If you know their ticker, I'll look them up. I would be more than happy to pull them up. Or they can do like Tesla. Tesla got too big for its britches and too expensive. Yeah, offering is a dirty word because it waters down the amount of shares and it makes them less valuable. And so it'll tank a company real quick. It'll tank the share price. Well, let me look them up. If you know their ticker, but let me look it up. Uh-oh. Medline Industry is not publicly traded. It is considering an IPO in 2025, and the IPO could value the company up to $50 billion. Interesting. I am going to keep that one in mind because I like IPOs. Yep, it is. That's what we found out. We always need snacks. Snacks are a good thing. So the offering that happens is that they will do an offering, or like Tesla, they get too big for their britches and nobody can afford them. So they'll do a stock split. So if you have $1,000 share, they'll say, okay, we're going to split it in five. And so each share is going to be worth $200. But, oh, no worries, me and Taz. No big deal. An IPO would be kind of nice. I'm going to put that one on my on my to-do list for next year. So, but you still have 5 of them, so it doesn't really change the price and the value of the company. And usually that's a good sign. So the very first day, it'll all come down because people see, oh, it went from 1,000 to 200, not seeing that the stock split, that the number of shares split. And then eventually it all rises back up because that's actually a sign of strength to a company. And then you have what's called the reverse split, where companies will get lower and lower and lower, and then all of a sudden they'll go under $1. And a lot of the exchanges, you have to keep your value of over $1. Turn that frown upside down. And so they do the reverse split where if you had 100 shares, now they're going to take a 1 for 10 split, 10 for 1 split, and all of a sudden you only have 1 share, but it's now worth $10 instead of $1. And that's actually a sign of a weakness. The first day, everybody goes, ooh, and they buy, because they think it popped up from $1 to $10, and it didn't really. It was just a reverse split. And usually the company starts fading and it goes back down to $1 anyways. So that's usually a sign of weakness. So those are the 2 different ways that shares change or change hands, the number of shares. And it dilutes when you do a reverse split, it dilutes. one way or the other. So SCHG just did a 4-for-1 split. Okay, so it's an ETF. So an ETF is a like for silver. Silver has an ETF. It's not the physical silver, it's an ETF. It's a funded, electronically traded fund for a group of stocks. Am I saying that right, Peter? Like Jung, Jung, is an ETF for gold. Gold, GLD, is an ETF for gold. SIL is silver, and such like that. But that's how the money just gets swapped from one hand to another within these exchanges. Would you like for me to go to SCHG? I will go there. Now, this is a 2-day, 15-minute chart. Oh, dagnabbit. Go away. 2-day, 15-minute chart. And it went from 26.30 a share to high 27.72. And I'm going to go to, this is, I do for a lot of stocks that I'm purchasing or buying. So it went from, in a year's time, 18.89 a share up to 27.65. And this is a 1 year, 1 day. Here's my little squeeze. Let me kind of open that up a little bit. And then I look at my 1 year, 1 day, and then I go to a 10-day, 30-minute, and it was squeezing again on a 10-day, 30-minute. This isn't half an hour time frame. Look at what my patterns are, because trading is truly about patterns and probabilities. Has nothing to do with how smart you are or how dumb you are. And shares are traded and price goes up and down on fundamentals and news. And fundamentals could be earnings. It could be something good happens to the company, bad happens to the company. The splits, price splits, all of that is the fundamentals. And then news, which is also earnings, because it's good or bad news. Something happens, buying and selling gold or buying and selling silver. A company loses a bunch of containers off a ship, something to that effect. And I've seen all of those scenarios happen. So then now we're going to go back to the 2-day, 15-minute. I'm going to increase it here. And this went from, what day is this? 11/6, which was the day after Election Day. So this is basically Election Day. It went from 26.30 and it popped. All of the tech stocks popped. And probably on the heels of and the coattails of Tesla. Because a lot of times news will affect other similar stocks. I like that. Good morning, Capricious Caroline. I like that idea. And I'm a sock person. I love socks. Yeah, well, yeah, I think everything doubled the price in the last 3 years, Eaglewood. Good morning, Haggis. So here is your SCHG. Again, Eaglewood, I kind of have been into the peanut butter whiskey lately. I like that. I like my peanut butter whiskey. I don't have any right now, but so those, and I'm just kind of doing Fire Hose 101 on stocks. Now, options are a little bit different. Options are literally, it's just the option to buy or sell. And so, of course, the old adage is buy low, sell high, where with options, you can put your money on whether it's going to go up or down with calls or puts. And that's how you make your money, is buying whether it goes up or goes down. So it gives you a little bit of range. You can bet on, and I say bet loosely, whether something's going to go down on the common stock also. But that's called shorting. And shorting is fun. I love to short, but you have to have a larger account in order to short. Mm-mm. No, it's actually really good. Sell high, buy low. Yep. Google Finance. I mean, I've always kind of just used Yahoo Finance. But yeah, I have several watch lists in here that I have. Looking at my watch list on here, I don't know if you guys can see it. I can make it bigger if you need to. But what I have on there is I have the last traded price, which this isn't going to start moving until opening bell at 9:30. The only thing that's moving right now are the exchanges. And I have Dow, and then I have silver, which is a future. I have ES and NASDAQ. And ES is SPY, S&P. The net change, the low, or the bid and the ask. And then I have the expected move price. Here, I'll open it up a little bit more for you. An expected move price and a ATR, which is the average true range. And if you look at like the expected move price for SPX, there's a $35 expected move, which is pretty low actually. So for a Friday, that's kind of surprising. So it looks like there should be about a $35 expected move. And if you go to SPX isn't open yet, but SPY has a $4.50. Now that's kind of big. That's usually they're about the same. But I'm going to go to SPY. And see they are moving. But a $4.50 move, let me open this up, would bring it back up to $5.96, or it could drop it down to the 590 area. And a $4 move in options can make you a good chunk of change. Yeah, the markets do like predictability and they like probability. And the other day, everyone was hoping that it wasn't a sell the news event, meaning that everybody was buying in anticipation. And then all of a sudden the news gets there and then the rug gets pulled out from underneath the prices because everybody bought in anticipation of the news versus the actual news. But it didn't. It spiked. It sparked the news. It just went higher. Thank you for that compliment, but I'm not one smart cookie. I just like numbers. I agree. Cheers, Irish. I don't know much about whiskey either. I just know whether or not it makes me gag. Buy the rumor, sell the news. Yep, that's exactly right, Power Lies. I do believe DHE is on there. I don't know how I got. Yep, right there, DJT. It closed at 27.69 and we are up 28.15 to 28.18. So it is closing or opening green today. Here is your 2-day 15-minute. I'm going to give you a 5-day 1 hour. That gives it a little bit better. So this was voting day. See, it was buy the rumor, buy the rumor, buy the rumor, and then it went down. And got sold off when the news at 2, and then so it went down to 31.20 area, and by 4 a.m., which I don't know why it was I don't know who traded at 4 a.m. because it's not open at 4 a.m. Went to 54.99, which that has to be fake news. But it came right back down to the 47 area. So it still popped quite a bit. Those must have been orders that were just sitting there for the pre-market open and they tapped. Somebody made a pretty penny. What was the volume on that? It wasn't a huge volume, but it came right back down within the hour. Here, and I'm going to forewarn you, when the opening bell goes off at 9:30, you're going to hear lots of bells and whistles. Good morning, Ann. How are you doing today? Yep, that's the key to everything, is to cut losses quickly. Okay, Cricket, that sounds good. That did make me laugh. How are you doing today, Ann? So that's a DJT. I wonder what their options look like for Friday trade. I'm going to pop out my options. And go back to the charts. I am going to show the options in a different screen. You're not going to see it. I don't think you're going to see it. No, you're not going to see it. So, looking at the option strikes for today, how expensive are we? They are really cheap for today. Options are really cheap. I might grab a couple of them. Puts are way more expensive than calls. So kind of looking at probabilities, looks like we might go down versus go up. Let me go back to 2-day 15-minute. See, there's my little indicator, and all of a sudden it squeezed right after that. And if anybody else has Thinkorswim, I'd be more than happy to share my indicator with you. Just email me and I'll let you know. I'm going to go back to SPY. Ooh, we're on a 15-minute. Now see, looking at probability and looking at, where's pre-market? Here's our pre-market. So we have a 596.68 high and a 594.72 low. So let's let's do a here's your high and your low. Market is open. I am doing wonderful today, Anne. I was up kind of early this morning and didn't have my thing scheduled till 9, so I was just really antsy to get on. And I'm going to go ahead and move that down because we don't need to see expected value and all that. Come on. Make my chart a little bit bigger. So if you're looking at this, Tesla's up $2 from yesterday. TSM, which is another tech ETF, is up 246. Nice. Walmart's up just a half a buck. Costco's up $5. That's nice. That's a big up. SPX is up $7. SPX is my favorite. So as we're watching this, see, we're going to go up and we're going to hit the 596.68. That was the top for the pre-market. Here, I'm going to open this up a little bit more. And when we get up to that range, it might, if it pushes through, it probably, and I'm just looking at patterns and knowledge and experience, if it pushes through this top, then it probably will drop back down for a minute and then go back up. Or if it drops back down, it may come down to this bottom area. So this is just the different patterns that you get used to watching for your stock prices. Yep, don't chase. You're on TIVC. Should we pop in there real quick? And I usually only do one chart at a time. I have people that, I have a couple of monitors in the other room. I'm not in the other room. So here's your TIVC. And it dropped to the 43. Yep. And here's your 60 cents line. And here's your bottom line here, ish area. And it looks like it's not holding on that, and you may get a second chance at your 43 cents. I would bet this is actually going to probably drop down to the 40-cent area. Let's make another mark down here. I could be wrong. It could be the little train that could. Let's pop this into the 1-day 5-minute. And this is your 5-minute candle. And here you have another. I'm just showing you guys real life of what trading kind of looks like. Okay, so your next candle, oop, it's going to pop through. Can it hold? Can it hold? And off it runs. And see, if you would have bought 100 shares at that 43 mark, you would be up 13 cents a share. You would be up $13 in your trade. Uh-oh. 60 cents is the goal. Back to 60 cents. Yeah, they are all crap. I agree. Did it go up and tap that top? Power lies? Almost. Almost tapped that top. Nobody is really. SPX is up $11 now. Again, we have that range of possibly 35. Tesla's up 670. Tesla moves fast though. Excuse me. We're going to try again on TIVC. And see, that's ES, which is SPY, is up 675, and NASDAQ is negative. So there's a divergence there. Who's going to win? TIVC can't hold the winnings. So if you didn't sell when it was up there at the 59-cent mark, or if you bought at that 59-cent mark, now you're losing money because it shot back down. And we're going red. Come on, little train, you can do it. Yeah, definitely wouldn't hold here. Now, I'm not an investor, Peter. I am a day trader. No, day trading it can be within 5-10 minutes. Day trading is just that. If you're holding, there we go. If you're trading overnight, that's right, Power Lies. 30 seconds to 30 minutes to maybe 3 hours. Yeah, we all have ones that we don't. I absolutely hate, like Weight Watchers and Walmart. There's a couple of them that have just screwed me like a pooch. So I just avoid them just because I just hate them. They're on my do not trade list. But overnight trading is different than day trading. Day trading typically is. And okay, so you're talking about there is a trade limit you can only have if you have under $25,000 in a margin account. You can only do so many trades a week. And if you go over those trades, yep, they close your account down. There we go. We're going to pop now. It's going to test that high again. And if it fails, it'll come back down, but it may pop through. But if you have a cash account, there we go, brand new high. There it goes. There you go, Power Lies. If you have a cash account, you can do however many trades you want in a day. It just depends on what your float is. And that's how you get out of the day trade, the pattern day trade rule. Because the PDT sucks. Unless you have over $25,000, then it's okay. Are we going to hold that high? Excuse me. Now, a small amount would be like 10 shares or 100 shares. But you have the big boys that would have come in at 43 cents doing 1,000 or 10,000 shares. Like that run on San the other day. I'm just really interested to see how far we go on this. Right? And I have VWAP listed on mine under, what is my VWAP line? It's the dotted line. So VWAP is right around 52 cents. And the VWAP is the volume weighted average price. That's a nice little pop though on a small below $1 stock though. So let me show you what I do on, I do I'm going to take it to 10-day, 30-minute. Oh my God, look at all of the squeeze on that. Holy crap. Yeah, that's not even going to work on this one. But we can, let me pull. Okay, so let me go back to my drawings. And I'm going to go back to my rectangle tool. And what I do is I take my 30-minute, I draw my zones out, and then I look at where the industry changed the price. So this is a zone right here. Industry looked and said, oh, nope, we're going to go down. So here is a zone right here. There, it's kind of a skinny zone. And here's another zone where industry said, nope, we like this. So here's some zones. Now I'm going to go back to 1 year. Did it ever go above that? No, it's, well, yeah, it did. This is a funky, this is definitely a pump and dump here. I tell you what, if you held more than a day on this one, you're going to get your ass handed to you. They are pumping this. They're going to pump, pump, pump. They're going to try and get it up to $1. And then once they get it to $1, everybody and their brother's going to sell it, and it's going to go right back down to 20 cents. It's called a pump and dump. There we go. If it even gets to $1. What is TIVC? TIVC is, oh, health systems. Yeah. Somebody probably said, oh, they're going to cure cancer. And so it gets pumped. Health tickers are known for this. Me too, rich, rich, rich money bags. Thank you. Thanks, Cricket. Enjoy your day. We're just watching this one because Power Lies is, I don't know, did you ever get in Power Lies? Or did you not chase it? So this would be good if there were shorts available, that if you could have shorted it at 65 cents and you could take it down to back 20 cents, that would have been nice. And I don't think it has options because it's just way too cheap to have options. A lot of below $1 ones don't have options, and if they do, they're just, oh, excuse me. Oh, first half hour usually from opening bell to 10 o'clock is normally wet and wild. That's when everything, and then by 10 o'clock, everything kind of settles down. I'm going to go back to, that's what I thought. Yeah, me too. I haven't even looked at I looked at the options for SPY and then or DJT. Here we come back down to VWAP though, power lies. Let's see how far it dumps. See, it's going to come back down. If you look, power lies, see my red and green line? My red and green line are two different indicators of my one's a 9 and then the other one I think is a 21. So my 9 and 21 cross. 9 and 21's getting ready to cross red. When 9 and 21 cross red, it'll probably pop back up to this zone and then dump again. I just have my indicators that I like to go by, and now we're below VWAP on the 15-minute. So when you're looking at probability and pattern, when you're looking at the zone right in here that I shadowed out, this is a good area that it may bounce again. But we're going to come down here, and these indicator lines that I have, the 9 and 21, are touching now. And these are just the different probability areas from the indicators that I just kind of use. See, we're bouncing again. What does the 15 or the 5-minute look like? 1 day, 5-minute. That's a little more obvious. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Remove. Yeah, so it crossed, well, it didn't cross on the 15. It probably crossed on the 15. We're on the 5 right now. And we're going to come back down probably to touch this red line. See, it came down below this candle. We're going to probably bounce back up at least to the zone. Or not. EMKR. Yeah, this is going to bounce up to the zone, and then it'll probably come right back down. Now I'm going to go back to my SPX because ES and NASDAQ are still completely opposite. Do you see that? That means the two exchanges are fighting it out and one's going to win. ES, I bet, comes down to NASDAQ. Now NASDAQ moves quick. So what we're looking at here, I'm going to go back to my 10-day, 30 time frame, and I'm going to draw out my zones. And my zones are where I'm looking at a change happened. And let me open this up a little bit. So when it got to here, the industry said, nope, we're going to reverse. We don't like this. And so you just drag it out. I'll make that bigger in just a minute. And then when it got down to about here, it said the same thing. It says, nope, we don't like this. And then here's another one. And then this is all based on news, but we're going to go ahead and let me go back to, this is a huge zone. We're going to pull that zone through. We're going to pull this zone through. And let's draw a zone right here. And this was the thing. Okay, so then we're going to bring it back down to 2-day, 15-minute. We're above this zone. And I think this is all-time high, so we don't really have any zones up above to deal with. So it could come back down to the 59, 70, 75-ish area. But NASDAQ is coming up to meet ES, so it could be going the opposite way. And I know I say there's a lot of could be because that's all it really is. That's a good retirement plan. Wouldn't that be nice? Just to go live in a cabin out in the woods, only seeing people when you really want to see people, coming into town to pick up food and water or whatever. You're welcome. Thank you, Claudette, for saying that. Yeah, but with Starlink, you can have Wi-Fi anywhere, Ann. Okay, SPX is brand new high. NASDAQ is coming up. NASDAQ got the hint. It's being drug up rather than being drug back down. So 6,000 is going to be a magnet. It's up at 59.87 now, and I'm talking about SPX. SPX is the derivative of all of SPY. So SPY is 1/10 of what SPX is. And 59.87 is the high. 6,000 is going to be a magnet. It may not make it there today, and it is Friday, but I'm going to take a peek at what options look like on the... I don't think it's going to 6,000 today. But if it did go to 6,000 today, an option would be $4.30 average. and that means $430 because it's times 100. And I just don't see that it's going to be there today. Now on the bottom side, the 5970 area is about the same cost, about $4.20 for options. So let's pretend we bought an option for 6,000 at $4.30, and we bought one at 5970 for $4. See, we're at an all new high. It keeps trying. What does the 5-minute look like? So on my indicator bars, my 9 and 21, it crossed green, which means it probably will come down to tag this yellow line, but then it may go back up. And the yellow line is 5982 before it spikes again. Yeah, let's see where our options go. And I am too much involved with chat to pay attention. But see, your options is it's a package of 100 shares. It's kind of like a box of nails. You are buying it's the market buy and sell. So you are saying, okay, I want to buy that box of 100 nails for $4. And I think the price is going to go up. So that box of, and you're saying that you have the right to buy that box for $400, $4, because you times it by 100. And as the value of that box gets better and better, then okay, you can sell it for $5, which is $100. Here it comes back down. It's going to come back down and tap that yellow line. Ooh, VWAP. Yep, that's the Whopper. But SPX doesn't have VWAP because it doesn't have shares. It doesn't have volume. Nobody can actually buy or sell SPX because it's a derivative of the SPY. So no shares are being sold on SPX. And that sounds like a deal, Ann. I like snack delivery. And the coffee is done. And we're still trying. We're still trying. So on these zones that I draw, industry Right, Peter. That's kind of the problem, is you got to make money to be taxed. Yeah, and the SPX has different capital gain rules than normal stocks, normal common stock shares. So what we doing there, boss? What we doing? So this is on a 5-minute. Let's look what it did on the 15-minute. And I'll increase the we're still above. We haven't crossed yet. But what does it look like on the hour? 5 to 8, 1 hour. Yeah, we're pretty solid on the hour, but the red is it's wanting to catch up. I still think that 6,000 is a magnet. My 2-day 15. One day 5. Uh-oh. We're gonna dump. There we go. We need to come back down to hit this tap this green line or the yellow line. And then it'll try and bounce again if it's gonna bounce. Come on, come tap. Tap, tap, tap. Well, thank you, Anne. I definitely need to make some more moolah for more snacks. Thank you, Anne. That's very sweet of you. Okay, now we're down to where we're tapping that yellow line. Are we going to go all the way down to the 21? That would shock me. We're on the 5. So when you're looking at these candles, the candle body and the tails, you have the top and the bottom tail. See how the tail, that's where it went all the way up, but then it came back down. So you have the opening, the high, and the close. On this one you have the opening, which is because it's red, the high, and the close. The close went all the way down here. Now we're going to try and bounce, but then it's going to go back down. I bet you it's going to come back down here to this area. And it's going to test this. At least the 21, which is my red. Maybe all the way down to the zone. But the zone is where industry, because you and I buying and selling doesn't move the market. We're just not big enough. So industry and their big buys are what move the market. So this is where the market said, nope, go back up. Or nope, go back down. So that's what your zones are telling you. Well, yeah, but you kind of get used to it. When it fails, and yeah, it is. It's a whole language into itself. Kind of like having to learn Scientology. Yep. Well, the pump and dump, there's a whole there's a whole trading method to pump and dump. And there's a whole industry, there's a whole section of people, class of people that that's all they do is trade pump and dumps. Let me go there. But honestly, up until I started, I really haven't been trading because I've just been having limited funds this last couple of months. Okay, so I'm on the 5 minute. TIVC, see where it went up to the top of that zone? And we're not to the penny, and it failed at the top of that zone. See how those zones work? And I found that the 10-day, 30-minute time frame on a chart is where you can really see the culture buying and selling. And so you can mark your zones. And see, this zone was from a long time ago. So if it breaks through that zone, it has a potential of going back up to high a day. But it's failing on that zone. And this was a price, see right here on the 5:30 time frame, there was a top of the price there too. So it failed at that price level. Oh, and down she goes. Have a great day, Blow Drill. Thank you, Dylan, for all you do. Yeah, there we go. So are we going to blow through the bottom of that zone, or is it going to bounce and kind of go cattywampus? Yep, it is. Powerlize, do you draw your zones, or what indicators do you like to use, if any? Oh, trading is addictive, though. Yes, it is. That's volatility. But not enough to halt it. Now let's see if it doesn't hold this zone. Let's see if it pops down to the other zone. What's your price at right now? So I have that 39 area marked out. That excuse me while I get my legs calmed down here. Oh, come on, ladies. Ouch, 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 ouch. Sorry. Spasms hurt. So we're going to try, it's going to try and recover a little bit. We are on 5 minutes. What is my... Okay. Yeah, mine are 9 and 21. And then I do have, I think the blue line is the 200 SMA. That bright blue on the bottom there. Might be 100. I'd have to look. Let me look. But I thought it was 200. Let me see. VWAP. 14, 9, and 21. 9 and 21 simple. What the heck is that? Yeah, it's the 200, but it's the moving average, the MA. So yeah, that's a 200 MA. That's what I thought it was. So the probability is, if it still doesn't hold here, probability is it's going to go down and tap the 200 on this zone line. Oh, it opened up. Somebody's trying. Somebody's trying to give this thing life. My blue line is the 200 MA. So this is kind of trading, folks. This is now, if we were to go into investment, that's completely different. I am not an investor. I do have stocks that I have invested in, but those are long-term holds. And unless I'm averaging, I don't trade them. If I see a nice dip, I might buy to add. But other than that, I don't bother with them. But this is something that you can, especially with the options. Options are a little bit more riskier because if you do like SPY or SPX, they can go from the $4 to 0 in the day because they expire. And after 4 o'clock, they're worthless. But it is a good way to make more money when you have volatility. Let's go back to SPX and see where SPX is. We'll pop back into TIVC. What's neighbor doing? Ooh, Neighbors in a 5-minute squeeze with a 21. Do we have an hour squeeze? No. Neighbor's going to go back down to 77 area. That's where that's headed. It's going to go down. What does next week's options look like? Next week's options. Oh, they have monthly options. And they expire next week. 77. Oh, I might get a few. I might get at 80. We're at 82. Man, there's a huge 75 or 65-cent spread. And a 60-cent spread on 75s. Yeah, no. If I could get it at $1.35, I might do that. Let me see. Buy. One. I don't know. Those are monthlies. I'm not going to bother. Let's not waste money. But SPX 59.92. That's on the hour, and it's still trying to. It's got a nice little doji going on the hour. A doji means it's like a top. It can't make up its mind. And the 21 is popping up to the 9. That's on the hour. I make a lot of my decisions on the hour. And then let's go back down to the 5-minute and see what the 5-minute is looking like. The 5-minute's trying. It's really got to come up here, or it's gonna. If it doesn't, it's gonna fail. It might go up again. But what do our options look like? So we're looking at today's options, and we had the 6,000. Oh, come on, people. Well, yeah, because it's on. I don't want that. Excuse me. I wanted the 8th. I hate it when my computer decides to be a butt and doesn't tell me. Okay, so we're still at, if we would have bought at 430, we would have lost 20 bucks. In the 59.75s are still losing value. See, they lose theta value on expiration days quick, because if the amount stays the same, theta will take over. Although I bet you those Now we're breaking even on those. Morning, F. Sciento. Squeezed has two different meanings. So a squeeze, it could be like a short squeeze. Everybody thinks it's going to go down, and so everybody's trying to bet that it's going to go down. And then all of a sudden it doesn't, it goes up, and then everybody has to buy. So it squeezes it up. My squeeze indicator, which are my yellow indicators, means that it's squeezing in between an average price. And it's kind of like going, and it's either going to shoot up or shoot down. And that's what my squeeze means. Oh, hi, Adrian. Nice to know that that's you. And I agree, F. Sciento. So that's what a squeeze means. In my eyes, that's what a squeeze. My squeeze indicator means is that it's ranging in between an average average of a few indicators, and it's either going to go up or down. But a short squeeze could take a small stock. I've watched a short squeeze go from $2 and it squeezed to $100 like in a day. Right now this is SPX, and we're looking at whether or not it's going to try and go up and make a new high of day or fail and dump back down to the 21, which is my red line. And this is a 1-day 5-minute chart. And it looks like it is failing. It's going to try. Let's relook at the 1-hour chart. Let's go back to TIVC. Let's see. Ooh, oh goodness. Well, it's kind of doing what we said it was going to do. There's the 1 hour. Here's our 15-minute. See, if I was a betting woman and we crossed 21 red, we crossed red. The red line is now above on the 15. So again, 39 area is the target, and the probability is that it'll try and bounce. And I'm gonna have to take me off screen for a minute. Thank you, Anne. We appreciate it. I'm going to let this play for a few minutes while I need to move. Yes, exactly, Adrian. So this is the TIVC ticker, which is an ETF for tech. Oh, I know. It was a bummer we didn't get to see any dolphins. Sorry, guys. I'm in the middle of trying to move stuff around here. Okay, I'm going to be silent for a minute or two, you guys. Actually, I'm going to have to log off. Oh, I'll be right back. Maybe. I mind, just you're not going to be able to hear me for a second or two while I'm going to try and transfer out of the bed and onto my chair. But I'll be in. Yep, here we go down to that line. I'm back. Oh, got my thing trip.
Okay. I didn't see my phone go off.
Because I'm still on Vine, but the picture's not on now, so you don't worry about getting on film.
Yeah. Trouble.
If they can hear. Sorry, guys. Sometimes life gets in the way. I got boxes moving and things going on. Okay, you guys, I see it's going to go down and hit that 200, but I need to go and get some fluff and buff done for the day. So, Power Lies, thank you so much for trading, and thanks for this one as an example. And I'm going to close up stream for right now and end broadcast. We're going to watch it go down and clip that 200, just like we said. So thank you guys. We'll talk to you later.